In my opinion, gender is a universe. It is a broad spectrum of planets and stars and sky that truly cannot be contained into a binary.
What does it mean to be gender non-binary?
Sure. Well, for me, it means that I don't really identify as a man or a woman. It's somewhere in the middle, but where in the middle depends on the day. Some days I err more towards the feminine side, or I like to present more femininely. But there are other days where I fall more in the middle and I'm a little more on the androgynous side. Like, for example, today I have men's pants on, but I also have my hair and makeup done. So it's kind of finding a way to exist outside the binary and really have fun with the performative aspects of gender.
I identify as gender fluid and my pronouns are he or she.
So what I'm hearing is the affirmation of gender stereotypes. Like, these people sound to me like they're literally agreeing with staunch, old school right-wingers by saying, yeah, that's right, you can't still be a man and wear nail polish or dresses. You absolutely cannot be a woman unless you wear makeup and pink. I mean, at one point, we used to try to get society to accept men who sometimes wear makeup and women who like to play sports. What happened to that? Because it was such a laudable movement. It was a feminist movement, and it was like, a woman can do and like whatever she wants without it diminishing her womanhood. But now instead, we're supposed to accept that gender stereotypes are not only based on some sort of statistical average, but they're also absolute. And therefore, a man with makeup can't possibly be a man anymore, so we must invent new gender terms. Doesn't this sound like profoundly right-wing? That because a person doesn't fit neatly into a category, they must not be that category. So then anyone who condones the idea of multiple genders can't be feminists, right? Because if you disagree with the fact of two genders, then you essentially are affirming the misogynist bigots that you claim to hate. You're saying, well, since that woman can't or refuses to procreate, she isn't really a woman. So we must refer to her as them now because we have invented a whole new category. I wish I could articulate this better. Oh, I know. Here's Riley.
For them, every trans woman has to be the most feminine person on the planet. They need to have 800 surgeries and debilitating dysphoria and wear a full face of makeup every day and love dresses and hate sports and just be the literal epitome of traditionally feminine. And I've seen the exact same shit in reverse towards trans men. Just recently, I saw someone screen capped a tweet of someone saying that trans men aren't really men if they dye their hair or wear makeup, and I just can't wrap my mind around how that would make any sense. Men, cis or trans, don't have to be super macho masculine dudes. They can wear makeup or dye their hair or paint their nails or wear skirts or do whatever they want, and they're still men. Clothes or nail polish don't determine your gender.
Thank you, Riley. You summed it up perfectly. Now, of course, Riley's video is about transphobic double standards, which are impossible to fulfill or satisfy, and I'm not sure why anyone would want to bother with bigots anyway. But she goes on to say that non-binary people are often ridiculed for not expressing enough of a middle-of-the-road appearance. And my thing is, why is fashion a determinant at all? Why would middle-of-the-road fashion even matter for gender? Are you telling me that there aren't actual differences between men and women, and that only fashion helps us determine sex and gender? What about stereotypical perceived gender roles? Just like an 80-year-old Republican would say, a woman is only a woman if she gets married and makes babies. Is that what gender queer is about? This guy seems to think so.
One more aspect of gender fluidity is the combination of gender roles.
You mean your refusal to accept responsibility like a real man?
Well, that's not exactly the nicest way to put it, but yeah, I guess. I'm not gonna go and get a 9-to-5 and work through my 70s in order to provide for a wife and kids just because society says that's the manly thing to do.
This doesn't make any sense to me. You don't have to conform to any perceived societal roles in order to be that gender.
Gender roles are not gender, and anyone of any gender can be masculine or feminine or whatever the fuck they want.
So I don't wear makeup. I play video games. I don't watch chick flicks. I hate the color pink. I prefer pants and tennis shoes over heels and dresses. Hate having painted nails. I'm aggressive, assertive, confident. I refuse to procreate or be a mother of any kind, no adoption. So do all of these traits make me non-binary? Since I don't fit neatly into a single category of feminine or masculine, I must not be either a man or a woman.
I have a more caring and nurturing personality, and that's pretty distinctly feminine. But I still have a few pretty masculine traits. My ambition and some of my interests are still pretty male.
Look, you can believe whatever you want. Hell, there are still flat earthers proudly and loudly roaming the world preaching. However, just because you believe it to be true doesn't make it true, and you do not have the right to force me to concede to your view and cater to you. I mean, you wouldn't like it if a group of Mormons insisted to the public that everyone address them as sister or brother, would you? Because see, Mormons believe that we're all God's children, and therefore our spirits are actually literally siblings. In the church setting, Mormons greet each other like, "Hey, good morning, Sister Joan." But you would rightfully rally against a group that was all over the internet, popular magazines, or in Canada's case, Parliament, demanding that you address them this way. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you be against that? Because you should. This video is probably already long enough, so I'll make another video on the topic because, well, it baffles me and kind of frustrates me. I guess I just don't get it. So stick around. I'll see you next time.